Dallas is shooting 37.2% from 3-point range. Boston shooting 36.8%. So it's like that tight on the margin.
Yeah.
The Celtics have made 14.63 per game in the playoffs. The Mavericks had 12.6.
This is where we're in sync right here on the starting five, because my other one was Celtics 3-point assault or Dallas lockdown D decides to tie them.
Squad up.
Yeah, boy.
It's starting 5 times. NBA Finals, we're finally here. It's been a long season. There's been a lot of back and forth. I don't know how many people would have predicted Boston and Mavericks. If you did, damn, let me see your parlay ticket. I'm sure you came up. So I wish I had that type of luck. I know at the beginning of the year, I know I picked Boston. I can't remember who I picked in the West. I remember picking Boston. I can't remember my West pick. Do you remember who you picked at the beginning of the year?
At the beginning of the year, I can't remember if I had faith in Denver. I think a part.
That's I had Boston, Denver. That's what
I want to say I did go to Denver. So
yeah, I had Celtics versus Nuggets as my finals matchup. And clearly was I wrong, so don't listen to me on that. But since we're here, finals, real quick, and for anybody watching, make sure y'all subscribe, like, make sure you tune into our regular Cinco Squad show. We talked about a little bit over there, but I'll quickly go through this. Who do you got? How many games? Or who do you have as your finals MVP, Jay?
Well, Boston's been the team of destiny for me this season. So Boston wins in 6. Jayson Tatum is your MVP.
Okay, so we're going opposite here. I got Luka's MVP. I got it going 7. I got Dallas winning at 7. And yeah, that's just what I see. Luka,
may the best man win.
May the best man win. That's basically where we're going here. But since we're here, we were talking about predictions earlier, saying like, okay, well, who would you have picked earlier in the year? But now that we're here, go ahead, give it to me. What bold prediction you got that's coming down this series?
Well, here's my bold prediction. I think that White is going to shut Luka down in the first 2 games.
Woo. And now, what do we consider a shutdown when we say he's going to
not have a triple-double in either of those games?
Okay, because the bar for Luka's in that category where, like, remember for a while, like the Kobe category was he shut Kobe down. He only had 28 points. You're
exactly.
Like, oh, okay, he shut him down. Remember remember the Kobe stopper, Ruben Patterson, and they were like rubbing it, Kobe stopper.
Yeah.
And then Kobe comes out and drops like 40 next day and like, yeah, stop what, dude. I don't see that happening. I just think Luka's on the mission. So I'm sorry. I just do not see Derrick White's going to fit.
He's in a bold prediction.
So do you think he's going to be the primary defender? Because I think Jaylen's going to be the primary defender.
I think White's going to end up defending him because Drew's going to be on Kyrie mostly, I believe. And I think what they're going to do is and I think they're going to switch Brown on Kyrie because Brown's length, I think, is better than White. So, how Kyrie can blow by you. I think Brown can still kind of somehow alter the shot because of his length if he gets by him in the lane. But I think White's going to be on Luka primarily because he's their best perimeter defender. And he's probably one of the best guards as a defender, as a guard in the league, along with Drew Holiday. So that tandem's going to give them problems, bro. And I think he's really going to give Luka problems just the first 2 games. Then Luka's going to turn into a monster when they take the series back to Dallas.
So who do you think Tatum's checking through the series? Because I think at some point Tatum's going to need to pick up. Who do you think Tatum's going to be on? You think he's going for PJ, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to match him up on PJ because PJ in the corner has been a problem, and none of the teams in the West could have figured that out, and I don't know why. Just camp out with him in the corner. He's not doing anything else. He hit all his threes from the corner.
I know he shot like 50% last round, and that's just an issue. If you leave that dude that open, clearly that's going to be a problem. PJ Washington looks like when he was coming out of Kentucky, a lot of people thought he was going to be. Like, they're actually getting the best version of that. So, I mean, he could be one of those type of X factors. For me, bold prediction is, okay, so I said the series is going to go 7. That's not really too bold of a prediction. But what I do think is going to happen in Game 7 specifically, the Celtics will be up 10 points going into the fourth quarter and blow it in Game 7 is how this is going to go. Luka and Kyrie are just going to put on the show and –
you can never hear louder boos in the NBA if that happens.
Oh yeah, I fully expect the Boston fans to go home and be like, "What the fuck did we just realize? We were planning our parade, and Luka fucking got us, and Kyrie got us." And I think that's how it's going to go.
Can you imagine if Kyrie hits the game winner again in a Game 7?
But it might be that, and I kind of thought that's prediction. But I kind of, my gut is I feel like it's going to be something similar to that Warriors with the Warriors Cavs. Where I just feel like Luka and Kyrie are going to just combo, and before you know, Boston's going to be like, I can't believe this. They're going to get tight, and then they're going to be like, we had this. We finally were there. So that's my prediction. We're going to get a tight Game 7.
Nice.
So
I hope so.
that's what
I
I'm
hope
going
so. I hope
but
so.
it would be fun. So I'm really crossing fingers for 7 though, because we didn't get. Unfortunately, we had a 5 and a 4 in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So I'm praying that we get.
What do we get? We got 3 Game 7s for the whole of the NBA playoffs. Or was it?
I
It was
think
Knicks. No, it was 4 because it was Knicks Pacers, and it
Cavs
was
Magic in the first round was the only
Magic, the Knicks Sixers, and OKC. Not OKC Dallas. Sorry.
one. Okay, that was the 6.
No, it was Denver and T-Wolves.
Oh yeah, Denver T was because they 7.
Yeah, New York 4.
Yeah, so I'm praying we get a longer series. At least close games, a longer series. I'm praying for. But oldie but goodie. We've done this on the regular Cinco Squad show, so we'll bring that here to starting 5. This or that. Basically, throw out a scenario where you'll say, do you expect this to happen or that to happen? I guess I'll run the first one just since we're here. For this or that, the bigger impact. This came up earlier when we were in the other show. From the centers, do you expect to get more of an impact from Porzingis and Horford, or a bigger impact from Lively and Gafford?
Lively and Gafford, I think, are out to prove that they were not that they were nobodies, but they were kind of just floating around on well, not Lively, but Gafford was floating around on a team that really had no business that anybody paying attention to them this year. It may be the worst year in their franchise's history, and he didn't really know what the season meant to him or what his future was. And then all of a sudden he gets his second chance, and he's playing like that. He's playing like, hey, thank you for my second chance. I'm going to prove to you, Mark Cuban, why this was the right move. He's playing with that chip on his shoulder. So I think that those two are coming in with the chip on their shoulder. I think Horford and Porzingis know that they can have a bigger impact offensively than those two. And they may force the issue with those two because they may not expect their defense to be as tenacious and intense. So that's why I feel that the Dallas big man combo is going to have a bigger impact.
Okay, we're actually going opposite here because I actually think it's going to be the Celtics big man combo.
I knew you were going that way. I said, you know what? I'm going to go in my direction. I have a feeling you're going there.
I think it's been a great career, but I think win or loss, I think this is going to be the last series for Al Horford. So I 100%. Think he's going to leave it all on the court, which is why I would expect a big series from him. Like I expect him to be old man Horford, jumping out, diving for loose balls, all that type of crazy shit. Porzingis, though, we talk about the defense. That's where I think a lot of people forget. There's going to be a lot of stuff getting funneled to the paint, and I think Porzingis is going to be there to at least annoy Kyrie. Kyrie is, if not the greatest finisher in NBA history, one of the greatest finishers in NBA history. And I think he's going to annoy him at times, so I do think that impact is going to be a big, going throughout the series. Lively.
I hate to say it, he ain't making it to Game 7.
So you don't think, okay, see, and
that's why I can't choose that deal.
Okay, so what I was thinking interestingly is, will he make it to Game 7, and how right is Lively after falling down, messing up the head or neck or whatever when they called it? I swear to God, I'm pretty sure concussion. I don't give a damn what they said. That shit was a concussion. And so I'm looking at both of them and saying, okay, are we going to get the full? Yeah, are we going to get the full from each of these guys? So that's what the toss-up is. If Porzingis, I guess, is a big if he's available throughout, I think he's going to be the biggest impact of all the big men.
I can agree with that, but that's a ginormous if.
It's a big if. Yeah, this is a big if that I'm assuming for a guy who's always hurt. But go ahead, throw something out there. What you got?
So since Big Al is the topic of interest here, okay, Derek White and Al Horford hit more threes than Luka and Kyrie in the first 2 games of the series.
No. I say Luka and Kyrie. I think they'll just get more volume up at the end of the day. End of the day, I think the volume is going to override the amount of attempts. I think, don't get me wrong. See, Horford, and I get where you're going because Horford and White get a lot of the open threes. Mm-hmm. My gut says that as the series go, White will start to heat up. And remember back when they played the Warriors, White was kind of like not settled in, especially in the earlier part. And I got a gut feeling that's how it's going to be. So I think our perception of Derek White, like you think Derek White's going to start the series high. I think Derek White's going to get better as the series goes. I think we got a whole different perception of the Derek White part of his series.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to say the volume's going to get Luka and Kyrie there. What about you?
I feel like they're going to be too cold in Game 2. And one of these guys is going to hit 6 threes in Game 2 that's going to take them over the edge because of the open. I mean, they're going to be too open. They're going to be wide open, almost with 90% of the threes. I hit them.
And I get what you mean. If everybody's sitting there playing with Tatum and Brown, and okay, well, naturally,
And even Drew, like Drew's going to be taking people into the lane, so he's going to just look for the open
Drew too, because Drew had the ball. So yeah, I just Luka jacks up a lot of fucking threes.
He does.
So does Kyrie, which is why I just feel like the volume is going to get them there. But you know what? Actually, this brings me to another one. So my other this or that was actually, and this is a team 3-point question. Which team will shoot better from a better 3-point percentage in a series? The Celtics or the Mavericks? You're saying Celtics.
Yeah, because like you just said, there's too much more. Luka and Kyrie themselves, the volume is going to, and PJ is going to jack up a whole bunch himself. Now, the Celtics are the team, the premier team for shooting threes. But if anybody's going to match that, it's Dallas.
So now, are you saying they're shooting a higher percentage or making more threes, or both?
That's interesting. I mean, I feel we might see just as much threes jacked up in this finals, maybe than any other finals in NBA history. You agree with that?
Yeah, I think they're going to break the record. That's why I thought this. I don't know what the record exactly is, but that's why I thought this was interesting because
it has to be a Cavs. It has to be Cavs Golden State one of those years. You don't think?
I would assume Cavs Warriors. Yeah, I would assume because they were especially later as Channing Crowder Channing Frye and all these guys are starting to get there. And they had these 3-point specific specialists to try to match the Warriors. Then yeah, I would definitely say it's probably. I would assume, one of those. And then KD got there, and they were shooting even more threes. So
it's a really good.
Draymond was getting like 5 or 6 3-point attempts a game just because they were just like fucking leave him open, and he was just taking them. Series. I would say, so real quick through the playoffs, Dallas is shooting 37.2% from 3-point range. Boston shooting 36.8%. So it's like that tight on the margins.
Yeah.
The Celtics have made 14.63 per game in the playoffs. The Mavericks at 12.6, so it's once again that tight on the margins. Yeah. I think ultimately, Boston. I think the trends are going to stay. I think Boston's going to make more threes, but I think the Mavericks are going to shoot a higher percentage. Now, and one of the most fun stats I saw near the end of the Celtics series, they put the stat up on. I think what was it TNT or ESPN that had them. They were ESPN. It was the fact that the Celtics had 8 different guys make over 100 3-pointers this season.
Yeah, that's insane, right?
It's insane.
Insane.
Your entire starters and 3 dudes off the bench. Like that's the amount of threes. So I do think they're going to break that record. I guess that's another maybe both prediction from both of us. But yeah, I think the Mavericks are going to – because I think ultimately Boston falls in love with the threes more, so I think it's going to tank their percentage a little bit. Whereas I think there'll be times where Luka or Kyrie's going to be like, all right, I ain't got it. Put the shoulder down and go. Tatum especially has a tendency to being like, I don't care if I just miss 4. I'm sitting out here shooting this 3. And I think
and this is where, guys, if you're watching, this is where we're in sync right here on the starting 5 because my other one was Celtics 3-point assault or Dallas lockdown D decides the title.
Well, you said what? Celtics what?
Celtics 3-point assault or Dallas's lockdown D decides the title.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, which I guess clearly I picked Dallas. So, and I do think Dallas's defense is just good enough. They've improved so much, especially once they made the Gafford addition and the PJ addition. And to be truthful, Luka's playing better defense he ever has in his career. Luka hasn't historically been a great defender, but he's playing with effort. And Kyrie at times –
Jones gets no credit. Jones is the most athletic guy on the court probably, and he doesn't get enough credit either for
Derrick Jones has been Derrick Jones was thought to be just some dude who dunked like forever, and now it's like, oh no, Derrick Jones actually is like an issue. He's super long. Yeah, he's a problem. He's super long. He can be annoying. And honestly, there's going to be points where I think Jayson Tatum's going to get frustrated because those long arms are going to be there, and Tatum's going to say, I'm saying out here, I'm tired of this long arm every time I get in the lane. I mean, so I'm guessing for you because you already said ultimately the Celtics that you're taking. Yeah.
Let it rain.
Right. So since we're there, we're talking about combos. I know there's been a lot of combos. We talk about the big man combos and all that. Which duo? You got Luka and Kyrie, or you got Brown? And not necessarily to win, but which duo are you just taking? Which duo do you like better? The Luka and Kyrie duo or the Brown and Tatum duo?
Yeah, I gotta go with my guy who shares a birthday with me. I got Luka and Kyrie, man. They've burnt me completely every time I've gone against them. I was like, are they gonna lose this half? I'm going with the other team. Luka and Kyrie have burnt me for the whole playoffs. They probably cost me about who knows how much. Not in terms of how much the wager is, but the potential winnings where I threw them in and they had to hit in order for a parlay to hit. And every time I doubted them on being able to hit a certain point margin or being able to score a certain amount, I was like, why the hell do I keep doubting these guys? I did it in the Western Conference Finals. I'm not doing it again in the NBA Finals. I'm taking Luka and Kyrie.
But you're taking Boston for the series. They're going to burn you again in Game 7.
Hey, if they do, they do. But at least I'm making the right choice this time in the NBA Finals.
Right. Okay. So you're taking them as a combo, right? But you're not trusting them to win the series.
Yeah, I think
Ultimately,
Boston's depth wins them the NBA championship.
I mean, that's a lot of what this series is going to come down to. The one team's deeper. The other team probably has the best player. I think the best combos in Dallas. I do like a lot of what Brown has done, especially as much as I give him hell. He's been the best player for Boston throughout the playoffs. It's just simple as that. It hasn't been Tatum, it's been Brown. Brown deserved the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He won it. He deserved it. I'm going Luka and Kyrie though, ultimately because I think Luka's the best player in the series. I think if you told me between the four of those people who is the most likely or least likely, I say, to disappear, is Luka, and that's partly why I'm going with this. If you told me who the second least likely to disappear, I'm probably going Kyrie. So once again, I'm going with that combo because Brown, like I said, is improved, but I watched the NBA Finals. I've seen Draymond get in his face and him disappear. We've seen Tatum throughout the playoffs be good, but we've also seen him disappear. I've seen these guys disappear on the big stage. I've seen the other two guys. I can't think of times I saw them really disappear. The only time Kyrie's really disappears, ironically, when he played with them dudes in Boston in the playoffs, was the biggest time I ever seen Kyrie disappear in a playoff series. Was then.
But oddly, we're talking about like what you call a disappointing game for Kobe, right? It's like Kobe's at 28, like somebody shut Kobe down. You could say Tatum was having bad games, right? But I mean, I'm trying to find the game log here. Tatum had games where he's like 28, 30, 31, but Brown had like 33 in that game, or somebody else. Horford had 7 threes, so somebody else steals the headline from him, right? If I could find, so here's the Eastern Conference Finals. Where are we at for him? So 36, 23, 36, 26. Right? So, he didn't have that great of a series. He scored 36 twice. You know what I mean?
He scored 36 twice. I think the thing with him is sometimes he has a real knack of putting up like 30-point games that don't feel dominating. Like it doesn't feel like when you see
like 8 to 9 points on the free throw line. That's why.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the same way Harden used to be like that, where you look up like we got 35, but he's done it at the free throw line, so it doesn't feel like this dude just took over. Where you're like, Ant-Man had the thing where he's like standing at the top, he didn't put you in the pose, turned around, hit a fadeaway. You're not always getting that from Tatum, but I mean it's a credit to him that you can put a quiet, if you want to call it, 36 points or twice. I don't think I even realized he had 2 36-point games until literally right now when you just said it. I guess maybe disappear is the right word, but it doesn't feel as dominating some of his performances in some of these games. So I think that's where it's like weird with him at times. But I guess from there though, so since we're talking about, we talked a lot about Tatum, we talked about a lot about Luka. I'll give you both scenarios. Let's say the Mavericks win. There's going to be a lot of talk about it. Jokic, a lot of people call it the best player. Some people say Embiid. Some people still say it's Giannis. If Luka wins, do you consider him the king of the NBA? Now, on the other end, we got Tatum. Some people say he's top 10. You get some maybe say he's top 5. He's been all NBA. Or if Tatum wins in their scenario, does that catapult Tatum automatically in the top 5?
Yes to both.
You say both. So either scenario, somebody's catapulting up the ladder.
Somebody's catapulting big time because you cannot discredit Tatum if Tatum finally says, okay, here's what you guys have been asking me to do. You guys have been telling me for the other guys because we say it this way, right? The top tier of the NBA right now can be these 5 players, right? This is the top tier right now. And I guess SJ has made himself part of this argument, but I don't know if he's in the top. Sorry, these 3 players. The top 3, the top tier is Luka, Joker, and Giannis. Okay, because Embiid just cannot stay healthy compared to those 3. Embiid,
health has to be a factor.
Off he's on. He had his year. He got his thing. And then below them is Embiid, Tatum, and probably SGA. So it's like, is Tatum going to push his way in? Where he's like, look, I'm the one that won the title this year. Why am I getting considered in that top tier? So I think he should elevate his status there. And if Luka wins, I mean, let's consider what Luka's doing in these playoffs right now. He's amassed more points, rebounds, assists, field goals, 3-pointers, free throws, and steals than anybody in the playoffs. Now you make a deep playoff run and it makes more sense. But let's 29, 9.5, and almost 9 assists a game. He's almost averaging a triple-double through 17 games in the freaking playoffs. That's crazy. So, of course, it's not a Russell Westbrook kind of triple-double scenario. he's making everybody around him a lot better to push them to their best.
Yeah.
And that's what I like seeing about him here.
I'm going to say no to both. You know why? Because I already think Luka's the best player in basketball right now. So I don't need to say it doesn't matter what happened in the finals.
We share that. You know me, I've been on the Luka MVP train for 2 years.
So it's not a no because I don't think it's there, because I think he's already done enough.
But you see, you said the question was, does it catapult him? And I believe that's why I said yes, it will catapult him. It won't be an argument anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're like, Luka, yes. Everybody's going to be like, it's Luka.
Yeah, I think undoubtedly. I guess that's the thing where maybe you take it out last year with Joker in that position. I mean, honestly, we did the same thing when Giannis won his championship. Everybody just automatically said it. So the two last people consider the best person in basketball, when they won their ring, they said it. So I guess from that perspective, yes, you would say that. For Tatum, it's iffy. I think it really depends on how it goes. Because to be honest with you, okay, so since we're bold prediction, we'll go here. I think if Boston wins the championship, I think Jaylen Brown's actually going to be the Finals MVP. So I think it's going. So it's hard to catapult that guy to now the top 5 if the other guy was the Eastern Conference MVP and the Finals MVP. To see this is what I think would happen. Brown would go out here, maybe average 24, 25 points. I think, like I said, I think Brown's going to draw the Luka assignment. If he does good enough to maybe slow Luka down, similar to maybe like an Iguodala on the Warriors situation, then I think they give him the MVP, because you're looking, you'll say, well, he slowed Luka down and he averaged 25. If we can do that with Iguodala, and I don't remember his exact stats, and he wasn't averaging anything crazy, then you damn well give it to Jaylen Brown if he goes out here, puts up 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, has a couple steals, and just gives Luka a headache for 6 or 7 nights. So, yeah, my prediction is actually that, and that's why it would lead me to say Tatum might not be the top 5, but it's going to be still close and borderline, but it's going to depend on if he can win the Finals MVP. Because if he doesn't, fans are going to be like, what's going to actually happen, weirdly enough, if he doesn't win it, you're going to start saying who's the best player on the team.
If it doesn't push in the top 5, you're saying right now, and tell me as I go along, yes or no. Joker, of course.
Yes, Giannis. Of course.
Joker, Giannis, Luka, right?
Yes.
So does Embiid fit in that top 5?
He's the tricky one, because it's the win healthy factor, and I've always been a proponent of advocating for health and availability.
So let's just say yes, right? Because when healthy, he's probably the most dominant player.
When healthy, I'm taking him if we're just going healthy.
So who's 5 over Tatum?
Hold on real quick. Let me pull up. I need to pull up my all NBA teams real quick, because I'm trying to. Because I'm going to be honest with you.
It was SGA was first team.
SGA for me was who I thought should be the MVP this year. So it's hard for me not to put him right there when I'm looking at that. Then I'm still looking at, I know it wasn't the greatest series, but I still, him and Ant, I really don't put.
Because wasn't Tatum? It was 4 foreigners and Tatum was the only American, wasn't it, on first team?
Yeah, because
it was Luka, SGA. No, it was Giannis, Luka, Embiid, SGA, and I thought Tatum as the only American.
Okay, so yeah, he would be the only American there.
Yeah.
So it's tight. It's really tight because of that. So like him and Ant are really close. So it depends on kind of how that goes. At this point, okay, LeBron, he's seen his better days. You kind of start to slowly move that one out the way, but then you start to look at, I don't know. I'm trying to look at my NBA list really quick. When healthy, no, I'm moving quiet. Durant still is like right there.
I know.
It's hard. Like that's why I'm like really tight. So this is one of the things you ask me on a different day, and I might see a day and I'm like, well, LeBron looks like he might be still top 5. I see Durant on the right day, and he might still look like he's top 5.
You make an argument for Brunson?
And Brunson's a guy we start to kind of consider. I know he ain't been there because of guns and all the other stuff. John Morant was in that. We were literally sitting there with him saying it, and then he just didn't. He wasn't there available. But the last time we saw him play, even this season, we were looking like, yeah, he still looks like a top 5 guy. Yes. Excuse the Ant from the last series, we were still looking at him kind of in there. So I still think Tatum's top 10, but it's a really tricky, depending on the night, who that 5th slot is. So he can put it there with the right performance in the finals. So I'm not going to say he can't. My gut just says it's going to be Brown. And then I wonder, does that then start rumblings of who's the best player on this team? Now, I think those two get along, so I don't think it'll fuck them up early. But I'll be interested to see if they win a couple championships. Do we start to get a thing where we start vowing for whose team? We're both on max contracts. We're both, do we start to get that? But, I mean, that's farther down the line. So maybe that, we revisit that in a couple years of Boston, does their thing in that way.
It's now or never to start that couple years, because if it don't happen now, it ain't gonna be a couple. It'll be one random one, and that's it. They're not gonna accumulate a lot if they don't win right now.
No, they have to. This year is a must win. This is a championship or bust season for me. Because at the end of the day, you get that first round, you don't have Butler. You get to the second round, you don't have Mitchell. You get to the last round, you don't have Halliburton. You have pretty much gone through, with the exception of Porzingis, everybody else is healthy, and you don't even have Miles on your body like that. They're never going to have a run like this, even if they were the sweep teams. Not when you get where the best players out. Like, you don't get too many runs like this. You get a week in between the finals to get Porzingis back. You're not going to get this type of run where you're this healthy. The health is an extension of the luck, and don't have this type of miles throughout a finals run. So you have to win now if you're them. If you're, I guess, so, I mean, we kind of talked about some of the main guys, but I'm always interested. When you look at, like, some of the coaching staff, you look at some of the people in the front office, even people on the bench or stuff like that. Is there anybody in particular on either side that you're like, it'd be kind of real dope to see this dude get a championship? Or this woman, even if it's a woman in the front office.
I mean, you gotta love what the front office of Boston has done, right? And it starts with upper management, of course. But I kind of have a soft spot for Mazzulla because people wrote him off immediately. Not the right guy. He can't lead this team to NBA Finals. Doesn't have the personality for it. The guy is eyeing history right now. He's 121 and 43 over the last two regular seasons. All right, they can't be much more complaining about the body of work this guy has put in. And he's inherited a core of Celtics roster that he replaced Udoka with. It's a dominant back-to-back campaign. They got knocked out. Well, obviously they came back down 3-0 and almost pulled off the inevitable, which has not been done. So they almost did the impossible under this guy's. And they keep doubting this guy at 35 years old. He's doing something incredible for such a young coach. So, at this point, he could suit up for Boston, right? The guy could probably still sweat if you wanted him to, if your roster was
Horford, right?
went down. You know what I mean? Horford's older than the guy. You're coaching somebody older than you. So I feel like he's not getting enough credit for what he's done for this team and allowed them to believe that they are the best team in the NBA and then they had Jrue Holiday. You know what I mean? And he's instrumental in making that work. Because Jrue Holiday is not a big ego guy, but still, it's like a lot of ball has to go around, and Jrue's probably the best guy that doesn't need the ball, but you still have to figure out how to move that ball around. And like you said, 8 different players hitting 100 threes. I mean, come on, man. A lot of that has to do with Mazzulla and how he's kind of made these guys all believe that on any given night, you're the man, even though we know it's Tatum or Brown. But, hey, it's your turn tonight, Al. It's your turn tonight. Jrue, it's your turn tonight, next man up. And if you have that in your locker room and the next man up is a true belief in the locker room, that's when the magic happens.
For Mazzulla, I think it's because he doesn't have, like, this crazy personality. So I think that's why people really just looking, it's just Joe. Because, like, he doesn't have, like, how many people, Joe Mazzulla.
He has no good takes. He's not great with the media.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know a lot of NBA fans wouldn't know Joe Mazzulla's voice. Like, if you blindly said, okay, I'm going to play a voice of Greg Popovich or Steve Kerr or, any of these guys, even like
they're storytellers, those guys, right? Like, they're comfortable.
Yeah, and I think
in that sense. They are a lot older, right?
If they win a championship, then we may start to get more of his personality because I don't remember how much you heard of Spoelstra pre the first Heat championship. Like, what the voice sound like. So sometimes you need that confidence boost to get that. Maybe that gets him over. And the other thing I think that's always when it gets Mazzulla is Ime was so beloved even for that year because he really, like, kicked their ass. And he's more credited as the person who kind of came in and, like, started to max out Tatum and Brown. That I think people have always looked at Joe's like, oh, you just inherited this shit. It's kind of Steve Kerr the same thing in the earlier years, too. People always used to heard of Mark Jackson's team. But then a couple of championship guys. You said who?
You still have to make it work. It doesn't matter what you inherit.
Yeah, you still have to actually go finish it. So, I mean, if he can get him over the hump, then, I mean, hey, shout out to Joe in that case. I think for me, really quick, I was going to do, and I still quickly want to shout him out, Jason Kidd, because I love Jason Kidd as a player.
Me too. I love Kidd.
Jason Kidd went out there. He flamed out as the coach of the Nets, flamed out as coach of the Bucks. I really think he should have been an assistant. That's why I like guys to go be an assistant first. Maybe go learn learn the ropes first before getting to be a head coach. So it would be kind of cool to see him go full circle now and be good. I've heard a lot of the Lakers players. So I've heard a lot of the Lakers players say how he was, like, real instrumental as an assistant coach. under
Yes.
Vogel when they were in the bubble. And I think that helped them grow a lot. So it'd be kind of cool. Also, to factor in the last time the Dallas Mavericks won a championship, Jason Kidd was a player on the team. Now
That's
he would
right.
come back and be the coach on the team. But the guy I really want to shout out, and this NBA, if you're this for your real basketball heads. I got to shout out my guy, Guy Shamgar. If you're
Right.
familiar with Guy Shamgar, he is a New York street legend. If you ever heard of the movie Shamgar, that's the guy who invented it. It's literally named for him. Shamgar went to Providence. He, by the way, he's the player development coach for the Mavericks. But he went to Providence, had a pretty good college career there. He was actually teammates with Ron Artest back in high school. They were teammates together, and then he actually played AAU ball with Kobe. So he's always been kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Then he goes out, creates like one of the craziest crossover dribbles, which is still constantly used in the NBA and all over playgrounds currently.
Right.
And it's named after this guy. So he's always kind of like some Forrest Gump shit. He's always in the background. And you're like, oh yeah, Gosh Sam guy. Yeah, he's with Artest. Oh yeah, Kobe's cool with him. He's been with this person. Oh yeah, he was at Providence when they were good, back in the day. Oh yeah, he's on New York. He's at the Rutgers and he's doing this stuff in New York. And it's like, oh, this guy now is a player development coach for the Mavericks. Yeah. And he had one of the best handles. He's coaching Kyrie, who's one of the guys with one of the best handles. So that's kind of funny too. So I would love to see Gosh Sam guy. I actually get to go up there and get a ring. I just think it'd be cool. It's cool for anybody who's really in the basketball community who knows like basketball outside the NBA, who's not just, watching it here and there, but your real basketball fans know who that is. So we'd love to see Sam guy go out there and do that. But real quick before we go, I'm gonna have you pick a side. I'll pick a side too. We got Boston here. We got Dallas. I don't know how familiar you are with the city of Boston, how familiar you are with the city of Dallas. We're going to go through a couple quick categories. I'm going to name some people, events, whatever, from this city, and you tell me which side you're picking, the Dallas side or the Boston side. Let's start off with inventions. I'll give you three quick ones. Boston, inventions are really tricky. As I was trying to look, certain places be trying to claim stuff, like Facebook, Boston kind of wants to claim, but it actually happens in Harvard. So it's not really Boston, so I'm not giving them credit for that. So Boston, three quick inventions for Boston. The disposable razor, the microwave, the electric voting machine. Now on the side of Dallas, they're credited with laser tag, the frozen margarita machine, and the handheld calculator. Who you got?
Who you got? Dallas or Boston here, man? That's a tough one. I may have to lean in this case towards, because I'm not much of a frozen margarita person, so I don't care for that. I never liked when I had to use a calculator in math, so by process of elimination, I'm going to go with Boston.
You're going Boston, okay.
I'll go Boston.
I'm going to go. Okay, I don't use disposable razor, so the microwave is hard for me, and the electrical voting machine. I mean, hey, have people voting absentee. And
it's caused more problems than it's helped. So
yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a good invention or not, based on anyway.
But the microwave has been a staple in everybody's household. Everybody's using the microwave. We've been single in our life. Microwave saved us from starving a couple nights. You know what I mean? So it's coming handy.
The microwave is a hard one, but I'm still gonna go with Dallas because the handheld calculator, man, that thing has got me through a lot of moments in math class. I still use the handheld calculator all the time because I got the handheld calculators in your phone. So I'm still using my handheld calculator. And laser tag. God damn, some of the greatest times of our childhood. When the birthday parties are playing laser tag. Like, that's amazing. And who doesn't love a good margarita? Now, I prefer my margarita on the rocks, but a frozen margarita on a nice summer day is still a good thing. And having that frozen margarita machine, the efficiency, when you're at a restaurant, they can quickly get you that thing. When you go to Margaritaville or somewhere like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas up on that one. Okay, so we're going to go with musicians. Okay, I think I got 7 on this. Dallas. And there was a lot from each city. So Dallas, quickly I went Demi Lovato, The Chicks, a.k.a. formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, Kirk Franklin, Post Malone, Vanilla Ice, Meatloaf, and Erykah Badu. That's on your Dallas side. On the Boston side, we're going with New Edition, Aerosmith, New Kids on the Block, Donna Summer, Marky Mark, Rob Zombie, and James Taylor.
Damn. Wow.
I'll go first for you if you want me to.
All right, go ahead.
We're going Dallas.
Yeah.
We're taking Dallas here. And it was hard because I love New Edition. Aerosmith, of course, has made some classic songs. But I remember going to church, man. Kurt Franklin used to get you out your seat and just, man, Kurt Franklin was a cultural thing up there in the church. I've never been a Post Malone fan. Vanilla Ice, yeah, whatever. Fuck that dude. But that, and then, of course, nothing like an Erykah Badu just to relax and kick
Of
back
my
and
life. You can't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas. I can groove to that music a lot more. I love Aerosmith, but the lineup, like if you said, look, this is a concert in Dallas, here's a concert in Boston, I want to go to that concert instead in Dallas.
yeah, I'm gonna know more overall songs over here in Dallas, so
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go there. I mean,
Meatloaf too, right? Meatloaf's from
yeah,
Dallas.
Meatloaf, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Meatloaf's from Dallas.
Yeah, you said Meatloaf in Dallas. You got me there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. Okay, so we're both going Dallas on there.
Yeah.
Okay, one last one. I'm gonna go TVs and movies, like TVs and movies set in each of the cities. So for Dallas, we got Walker, Texas Ranger,
Oh,
Queen
yeah.
of the South,
Oh, yeah.
Office Space, the TV show Dallas, Bonnie and Clyde the movie, the Dallas Buyers Club, and Barney. Yes, Barney's from Dallas.
My freaking little brother and Barney, bro. That's nightmares. Bringing back flashbacks.
Okay, and then for the Boston side, we got The Town, The Equalizer, Ted, Shutter Island, The Departed, Cheers, and The Practice.
Bro, Boston's too hard right now.
I
That
know
that
Boston
lineup
is
is
hard.
so hard, bro.
I really
That lineup
tried to
is so
find
hard.
enough.
And
I was like,
fuck Brownie. I mean, bro, fuck Barney, bro. But my little brother used to sit there just going, I want to see the Barney. I'm like, bro, you've seen the Barney for 7 years. What are we doing about the Barney still, bro? Let's turn this damn thing off and burn it. So Barney brings back the worst memories, but that lineup is so hard for Boston. The Town was such a sick movie. Shutter Island was an amazing movie. Every single one you said there, bro, hands down. Just Ted, come on, Ted, bro, get out of here.
I was at, and the funny thing about it, Boston has so many, of course, because you got Damon
Matt Damon,
and Affleck, and all of them. They always make a point in Wahlberg, and always got to make a point to set.
And what was the other one too? With it was based in Harvard with Robin Williams and Matt Damon. Good Will Hunting.
Goodwill.
Yeah, it was a great movie right there.
No, I was having a hard time with Boston even narrowing down what movies to use. So I was like, "Ooh, this list is long." Okay, so I had to kick that out. It was a lot. Like even like TV shows, like The Practice has the Denny Crane, so it's a spinoff of The Practice, and like it was a lot. It's a Boston
Facebook movie, right? It's based
Boston
in
League
Harvard.
with a Facebook movie. Like it was a lot of shit. So ultimately, I'm gonna go Boston. Queen of the South is one of my favorite TV shows ever. So that, but then Queen of the South spends a lot of time in Mexico, in New Orleans also. But ultimately, we got to go Dallas on that. So for
Boston,
me,
Boston on the TV one.
I mean, I'm sorry, Boston.
Yeah.
So quick recap for me. I went Dallas for musicians and inventions, and I went Boston for TVs and movie, and you went
Dallas for inventions and Boston for the other two.
And no, I mean you went. No,
Dallas for music, Boston for movies, and Dallas for inventions. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely, I know it's probably gonna be controversial in the comments. So definitely, we want to hear what y'all like. I'm probably forgetting some shit. Go ahead, ask some stuff, but make sure y'all be technical because I know people are gonna be. But you didn't have that movie. It's like no, that movie just was recorded in Boston, not takes place, or this is invented. No, we're not claiming shit that happened in some other part of Massachusetts. We're not claiming shit that happened in Houston, and then saying, "Oh yeah, we're giving an invention." No, so please drop in the comments. Tell us what y'all think on that. But basically, we're here later tonight. The finals is gonna start. It's finally about that time. Any last thoughts now that we're going into game one here with the NBA Finals finally on the horizon?
Yeah, fire burn that damn purple dinosaur. But for real, I think we're in for a treat. I do. I would love my prediction to be true about Boston in 6, but I think we finally see the most competitive series in the playoffs with the balance that I can think we're going to get out of both these rosters. I think the 3-point shooting is going to be just off the chains. These guys are going to be going back and forth like a heavyweight fight when it comes to that. And whoever has the most magic in game 6 and 7, because one team's going to be down 3-2, that team's going to gain the momentum to go into game 7. That's who's going to end up winning the NBA Finals.
I expect an exciting series. Like I said, I'm taking Dallas in this. There's a lot of good players on both sides. There's a lot of good storylines, which we don't always get for the NBA Finals. I wish we had to wait a week for this, but we're finally here, so I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'm praying for a good series. I would honestly be surprised if it's not a good series. This is a prediction I hope I'm right on. So make sure y'all drop in your comments who you got, Boston, Do you got Dallas? Who do you expect to be the MVP? Are we right about, some of our, I guess, outrageous or bold takes? Make sure y'all do like, subscribe, comment. Tell us we're full of shit. Tell us if you agree with us. Let us know what y'all think. We always appreciate that. Make sure you also like, comment, subscribe to Rotation if you're a baseball fan. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to our regular Cinco Squad show. Also, all of our socials, Cinco Squad Pod 05, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We may be back later during the NBA Finals. If not, we'll do a post recap NBA Finals. But we'll definitely be doing stuff consistently throughout the summer. There'll be more and more starting five episodes coming soon. So stay locked in. I'm waiting for the Barney theme. I'll play a Barney theme on the way out this door.